Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Steffi from Little Steffi Big World, and this is about the series of my Going Places pre-travel album that I'm doing with the Going Places collection from Simple Stories. This video is not sponsored by any of the mentioned companies or brands. So I'm using this stencil from the Going Places collection, which got location pins with different signs in between, like a heart and a plane and a star. So I'm using a little sponge that's actually for doing your makeup. So I bought this really cheap because I've never used this technique before. So I tried the stencil on some scrap paper before, and I'm using a really cheap green little ink pad, and I'm just dipping that sponge really long into that ink, and then just going, in like pushing that sponge on the stencil. And I really like how it looks. So at the bottom I made sure that it's darker than towards the border. So I'm doing this kind of a triangle at the bottom right, and then again at the top left. So I'm just fixing down the stencil with some washi tape on the paper itself. The paper is from the Simple Stories snap binder, and it's one of the snap pages with a grid on it. And yeah, I really like how this turned out, especially this going from a dark green to a light green. I mean, there are special tools to do this, like blending tools, but I'm not sure I'm going to use this technique too often, so I just thought I'm gonna do it low-key with this little sponge. Now I've got this 6x8 inch paper pad from the same collection, and I'm using one of the design pads, and I've cut this in half because I want to make two flips here, where I can put pictures or put some story or put some travel memorabilia in there. And I'm going to fix these two cards that I now have with washi tape from the same Going Places collection. And I'm just making sure to put down the two cards separately, so I'm not doing one line for both of them, because if I do that, then both cards have to be opened at the same time. This way I can open them individually. I mean, it's just that I wanted to have it this way. So I'm putting washi tape on the outside and also on the inside. It took me quite a while because to go through all the embellishments, because there's so much. If you have the whole collection, if you have both the packs with the die cards, with the journal bits and the bits and pieces, and I've also got the chipboard pieces. So I'm just putting a little piece of washi tape there for the background, and then at the top left there's gonna be a little stripe that says Bon Voyage, and a chipboard piece with a pink flower, and at the bottom I've got this palms, a little heart, and a little sign that says Go by Sea. And I'm just gluing this down, and this is basically my finished page. I didn't put another title here or anything else. It depends, because it's a pre-travel album. I don't know exactly which picture is going here or what story I'm going to write. I'm also made a second page using the Stencil Technique, using another of these snap pages, and this is a lined one, and on one side, on this side on front, it has this green edge symbol at the top, at the bottom right, and I wanted to cover it, so I'm going through all the embellishments to find all the elements that I want to use to make a cluster here that's going like a triangle as well. So from the bottom left to the bottom right, it's going upwards. So once I've decided what should go there, I'm using the stencil for the bottom part, and this time I'm using red ink. It doesn't have the same effect, unfortunately, although it's the same kind of ink pad. It's the same kind of ink pad like the green one, but it doesn't have this kind of effect that it's going lighter. I mean, it is going lighter a little bit, where I'm not pushing too much ink on the paper, but it's not as smooth as the green. So I'm covering the whole of the top here, so I have to use the stencil at the right side again, and then putting down the ink with the sponge. and I really like how it turns out, but not as much as the green. So now I'm putting down the cluster, all the pieces that I've decided should go at the bottom, and because I'm doing some pieces in the back and some in the front, so I decided to do a mix of using double-sided tape and using a glue stick, and then just making sure it's going, you know, where I intended it to go, if it's going behind that little embellishment with the car or in front and the little luggage and stuff. So yeah, just gluing everything down. Now, I really like how the cluster went. I really like this, but what I didn't check beforehand is I want to use this dark blue foam sticker that says Happy Travels, but it's not really big of a contrast to the red ink. So I thought I might use one of the other words, but then decide now I want to use the dark blue. It's probably the best contrast to the red ink. The red ink. And then I'm also putting down this little car symbol, and I'm seeing like, oh, because it's not as filigree, not as small as the words, you can see the car much better than the words itself. I also have this dark blue arrow in this foam words, but then in the end I decide not to use it. So here's the back actually from the first page that I did, and it's with a magnet. It's a magnet opening, and I'm putting it now into the snap binder. And I really hope you stick around, subscribe to my channel to see more of this series. Subscribe and click the like button if you enjoyed this video. You all stay safe and scrapbook on. Take care and bye bye.